Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about this amazing topic that came up in my Truth Room membership today about living beyond the 3D materialistic world. How do we literally become, and live as the 5D reality, the souls, the higher self in this 3D material reality? I'm going to give you some very specific, very personal experiences shared by me and my group right now. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the little subscribe button, the bell, to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. I just want to mention a couple things first. The Patreon link, if you are a member, you will get the notes on this video and the homework assignment immediately after. Usually we're maybe a day delayed. And if you do want to join that, it's $10 a month to get all the notes on the video so you can anchor this lesson and actually live it. So today, the second thing is I'm going to be telling you about a little lesson I was teaching my Truth Room membership today. If you want to join my membership, this is the link. It is $47 a month. There are 4 years of materials, of exercises, of videos to watch, tons of archives, and you can join us live every single Friday if you can make it, or you can watch the recording for an hour. But today it was 2 hours, and this is why. It was an insanely incredible experience. Many of these people in my Truth Room membership have been with me the whole time for 4 years. Some are brand new. We had brand new people today, and they dove right in. They're like, holy shit, where does this tribe come from? This is a group that I've cultivated over 4 years of highly sensitive people around the world who understand what it means to become free, to become liberated, and to actually live in your shine. And so often, if you're highly sensitive, you're afraid to do that. And I want to explain something to you. I was sharing some very personal experiences, as I always do, with them, as they always do. And today I was explaining detaching from the material world. This is not something I ever thought that I would experience in this lifetime, because it's so opposite of my coping mechanism when I was younger, to try to have to know that I'm enough, to live up to some societal standard. And so today the question came up by a new person who said, how did you learn to go above it all, or to live in this spiritual perspective? How did you do that? And it's so interesting because my answer was, my contrast I got as a child, right? Think about your life. The contrast I got of something's wrong with me. I really understood that I had this spiritual ability, which a lot of children are being born in with this spiritual ability right now, and being, I don't want to say this, but mislabeled, misdiagnosed, misunderstood, because they have a spiritual ability that ties them up into the 5D reality, the spiritual world. But in the 3D reality, the material world we live in, the societal world we live in, it's super invalidated because this is not the way the system works. That was me. And so the system told me there's something wrong with you, but my spiritual gifts told me I think there's something very right. Why? Because instead of listening to what I was being told about you're learning differently, right? You're perceiving differently, I also noticed that I had these awarenesses and downloads and psychic things happen that nobody else around me was having. And instead of thinking, oh, okay, this is a bad thing about me, I guess I don't learn like everyone, or I don't perceive like everyone, I realized that maybe the way I learn and perceive is better in some way. And instead of totally denying myself, I lived with self-doubt for many, 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 many years, but I still went for it, right? So instead of denying myself, I started going for my dreams, and I started honoring the part of me that I knew was different than most people. I wasn't afraid to not belong. I wasn't afraid. Yeah, I didn't want to, because our basic biological need is to belong. But I wasn't afraid to not belong because it felt more painful to abandon me than to be abandoned by others. And so if others would reject me, I would just love me. It's kind of an interesting thing. It took me a while to do that. But as we were talking today about this 3D world, I said it's so interesting because I've gotten to do really incredible things in my life. And I've said it before, but if you're new to this channel, I became an international model at age 17. I lived in many different countries. I did many different things, covers of magazines, on TV shows, movies, all the thing. And none of it really matters. This is why. It didn't validate that I was enough. It was just an expression of myself. However, my little wounded ego as a child kind of needed those accomplishments. See who's listening right now, right? Accomplishments to know that I'm enough in this world, to know that I'm worthy of my desires and dreams, right? This is what we do. When we grow up in this society, we oftentimes think we have to perform for love, earn love, accomplish for love. And then when we're not accomplishing, who are we, right? So I got to the point in my reality where I was like, I think I've proven it to myself that I can do stuff in this world. However, I'm not living my truth because my truth is I actually want to be the thing that I was going to be rejected for. And so in my group, it's a group of highly sensitive people from around the world who are artists, creatives, healers, doctors, all the things. But many of us hid away our spiritual gifts so we weren't super weird, so we'd actually be approved of. And in this reality, our spiritual gifts are not going to be approved of because they're actually the thing that wakes us up to the shitty reality we're actually living in, the society. And when I start to empower myself and empower all these people that I've worked with, we start to realize that we actually have this gift of seeing the truth. And they didn't want us to see the truth. Why didn't they want us to see the truth? Because then we'd see that they don't really get it. We'd see that they don't really have that ability to go beyond the veil of this controlling, one-sided, tiny little boxed reality. When you are really free, what that means. So this is the next part of our class today. The question came, how are you so happy and so confident with all the suffering? That was the suffering was the word. Suffering you've been through, Candace, in the last 4 years. And as a reminder, for those of you who may be new, I've gone through a house being burned down, losing my soulmate dog, that the reason I didn't have children, loved her so much, out of nowhere, died in my arms, getting a divorce, having a miscarriage, moving to another state after 22 years. All these things happened to me in a short amount of time. And the whole time I was the same. The whole time I was grieving these conditions and grieving these losses, and also knowing that it's not a punishment, knowing this is not happening to me, knowing this is actually something I can use to my benefit to lift up the whole time. When I lost my dog and then my baby, my reality was the two loves of my life are in heaven, which means I'm more connected there than I am here. And that's when I lifted up and I said, nothing in this conditional world, I don't feel attached to anything. Your house can leave, your car can leave, your dog can leave, your husband can leave. Everything can leave you, but who are you? We have to understand that the truth of our soul having a human experience is that we're so beyond this material world. And when we have these losses, I told a friend at lunch the other day, I told her, and I shared this with my group, I actually feel luckier than a lot of the people you're telling me about right now that have all these things. And she said, why? I said, because I know what I have. Because I've lost so much. And in those losses, I focused on what I still have, what I get to do, and how lucky and excited I am to literally show up every day as my true authentic self and connect with people and share with people and just be. That is something I never thought I would get to. I have to be honest. I didn't think I would. And I'm actually super proud and excited to say that the reality of living pretty non-attached is freaking awesome. It's a freedom that most people are afraid of. I was deathly afraid of it. I didn't actually want to be free because I thought if I was free, then what, right? That uncertainty. And I thought about freedom and I thought to myself, wait a minute though. If being free is not safe, where did that come from? It came from childhood when people said if you are who you truly are, you're in trouble. You won't be loved. You won't be safe. You won't be. Why? Because people need to control you to feel safe. They weren't free. So you have to look at those people and say, oh my gosh, were my mentors free? Nope. Then why am I listening? So I don't really think about those people. What I think about is being free and living in this 3D reality as a 5D consciousness means you're always attached to your higher power and your higher self, and you're just playing this little game down here. And if things get taken or shifted around, you're good because you just create new ones, right? And if you lose the love of your life or you lose whatever, it doesn't mean you're void. It means it's on another level now. You're detaching from a material thing, and now you're elevating to a higher love that's actually much more amazing, fulfilling, and constant than any love on this plane. And so my deepest fear before my divorce was that it would just be me and my dog and God. I was like, ew, that's disgusting. I'm a 40-year-old woman with my dog and God and my career and my purpose. That's not enough. And I thought about it deeper and deeper, and I said, that's actually the most amazing thing. Me, my dog, which is God spelled backwards, God, and my godly purpose feels like kind of the most fulfilling experience I've ever had. Think about it. And then when you feel fulfilled as F, right, more magical things can happen. And I'm really excited for this next chapter because I've just stepped into this zone. And I bet many of you watching this are going through this too, or you wouldn't find this. I've stepped into the zone of loving all that is, loving everything that is. There is nothing wrong. I do not have resistance. This 3D reality wants to teach you to have resistance and want to control things and have to be different than things are. And I always tell my clients, whatever is what you need to embrace. It doesn't need to be different. If you think it needs to be different, you are creating separation from the thing that you want. I believe, for me, I tend to manifest quite quickly because whether something comes or not, I'm good. Think about this. Detachment means I've had lots of loss. You've had lots of loss in your life. And you're still so good. And you know that you can have so much. There's so much opportunity to have so much right now. Living the 5D realm in the 3D reality means it doesn't really touch me. It can't affect my mood. It can't, yeah, sure, it can affect my mood. I'll have grieving and I'll be sad for a minute, but I'm not losing who I am or my ability to create. That's the whole purpose. You don't lose your power as an extension of source energy. And if you can remind yourself of that every day, you are in attachment, or you are source energy. You're not the whole collective, but you're part of it, right? So you're an aspect of source energy. If you remember that, whenever you're going through something super hard, you think you're losing your house, or you're losing your money, or your bank account just got stolen, or your car got repoed, or your boyfriend just went to somebody else, or your dog died, whatever it is, think about the higher realm and say, why am I attached to this thing? Because I think this is my security? It's within. I'm capable to figure out a new car, a new boyfriend, right? Think about, if I'm source energy, if I'm 5D living in the 3D, I'm capable of way more than what this world can take from you. I want you to really hold on to that message. I also want to invite you again to join my truth room. My truth room is on fire. This membership is intense, you guys. And I wish I could show you the videos from there, but that would be non-confidential, so I can't do that. But I would love you to join. Try it out for 1 month. If you don't like it, cancel. But come try it. This is the link. I want us all to become this big, big, big consciousness that really shifts the world. I can't wait for our live events later this year. I can't wait for all the beautiful things to come. But I want to just give you encouragement that anything you're dealing with that's scaring you, that you feel super attached to, ask yourself, how can I liberate myself from this attachment? What is making me so attached? If you can let go and flow and look at the higher source that is with you all the time, you're going to start to feel more peace. I hope this message finds you well. I hope you'll share it with at least one other person that you think it might touch. Please comment below if you feel called. Please subscribe if you haven't already over there. And I'll see you guys soon.